As we've described in other videos, Musk is once again suckling at the teat of government, gobbling up contracts that his corporations don't deserve. But at the same time, the work he's already done in government is continuing to cause problems. And Trump and those who are left in doggy after Elon Musk left are having to clean up the messes. So there's new reporting. CNN did a great breakdown of some of the numbers, and we'll talk about a few of them, about how the Trump administration is continuing to have to scramble to rehire key federal workers after the doggy firings. Again, because it turns out that before you fire tens of thousands of people, you should probably think about it. And this is both stupid and costly. Now, look, I also think it's wildly immoral and dehumanizing to fire all these people without even understanding what their job is and then ask them to come back. That's terrible. I understand that that's not going to be persuasive to Elon Musk or these other tech sociopaths. They believe you break stuff and whatever. These aren't people, they're just numbers on a spreadsheet. But again, the other number on the spreadsheet is how much you're spending to do this. When you fire all these people, ostensibly to generate savings for the government, and then you end up having to pay even more money over litigation and rehiring them, this was stupid in every way that it could be. And so look, I wanna break down some of the specifics to really sell this. So here's one of, I think, the most offensive. And so earlier this month, Voice of America called back dozens of Farsi speakers, one of the languages that's used in Iran, who had been on paid administrative leave since March. So they were fired because we probably aren't gonna need anyone who speaks Farsi or anything like that. Donald Trump's definitely not gonna get us in a war. And then, oops, we need to bring them back. And they did. And do you know what they did after that? For many of them, they fired them again. They fired them, then they brought them back, and then they fired them yet again. And the expectation will be, well, if we ever need them, when Trump starts the war again, I guess we could just rehire them. And look, they do an important task, but I honestly hope at a certain point, they tell the government to go F itself. I think that you have to stand up for yourself at some point, but it's not just Voice of America. At the Department of Agriculture, they halted plans to lay off 25% of its staff at dozens of facilities responsible for responding to the bird flu. Thank God, I could have told you that on day one. It's taken till now for them to figure that out. The National Weather Service, which lost more than 560 employees to layoffs and early retirement incentives earlier this year, received permission to rehire about 1 in 4 or 5 of them for its forecast offices around the country, despite a federal firing freeze, because their job is important and necessary. They're still not back up to the level they were at before, which is bad news for people across the country, particularly when it comes to such inclement weather that it could actually lead to a danger to your life, but at least they're reversing some of it. The Department of Health and Human Services reinstated 450 employees at the CDC who were fired as part of a massive reorganization in April, including workers focused on HIV and childhood lead exposure. Again, in their defense, nobody could have predicted that those were important positions that you shouldn't fire people from. But whatever, they're rehiring some of them. More than 200 employees had their firings rescinded at the CDC's National Center for HIV, Viral Hepatitis, STD, and Tuberculosis Prevention, along with 158 at the National Center for Environmental Health. And so it just repeats itself over and over and over again. You need these people. Now, you don't necessarily need everyone or every program, and you can engage, as the government always does and always has, in efforts to make these cuts. But you don't just put a person in who is most notably known for being a dumb donkey and then tell them to go wild and just fire a lot of people. And then we'll rehire them back, and it'll cost more than just keeping them there the entire time. That's no way to run a government. It's also, by the way, no way to run a business.